Hello and welcome back to EU Friday Night Fight, hosted by myself, Barton, Purdy and Schmidt.
Hello.
So, Schmitty boy, what did we see on the first round?
Wow. I think it's fair to say at the start we all called it for Blue 4 because just the sheer numbers advantage. What we see in a very coordinated attack, we saw Blue 4 around that third sector, kind of surrounding it from three sides, which then turned into them kind of overestimating it, pushing in too aggressively, essentially being outflanked by Independent. And yeah, that's how the whole game went. We didn't see anything in Sector 2, just a couple of pop shots here and there, but it was essentially a fight around Sector 3. Blue 4 kind of rushed in too aggressively, and that was their doom. And that first game went to Independent.
Good. Purdy, what was the defining moment? What changed the way on our original prediction for Blue 4? What changed that? What do you think changed that on that round?
I think Blue 4 overcomplicated the attack. Wrapping round to that northeast flank actually strengthened that hard point, which we said was going to be a weakness of theirs. If they just went straight east and attacked that point, Green 4 would have been caught with their pants down, and it would have given Blue 4 a free pass to look down into Sector 3. But that never happened.
Fair enough. Very well. Looking into the favourite moments, we talked about that just before the break. This coming round, what are we looking to see again on this round? From last round, what we saw, there was a coordinated effort by Blue 4 initially, but then it broke down later on. What are we expecting to happen this time? I'm going to go to Purdy again. What do you think should happen this time?
I think there's probably going to be a new command structure after what happened. Potentially switching a lot of things up. Potentially looking into some new methods of thinking, and ultimately changing that overall method of attack.
Mm-hmm. And Schmidt, what do you think we're going to see as well from your perspective?
So we have Rush, and once again we have TAU on Blue 4, and this time it's turned around. We have TAU on Blue 4, so they will be defending, and we have our 4RB guys attacking again, but this time they're going to be with 1R RCC. Let me take a look who's going to be supporting them as well. 1RW this time going to be on Blue 4. They're going to be against them. It looks like Nemesis, Nafis. Yes, it does look like Scandi Recon is going to be on Up 4 side. Scandi Recon is going to be working together with 4OB and 1R RCC. They're going to be attacking again, but this time it's going to be Rush with transport vehicles. 4OB is going to have 2 BTRs and a K60. Blue 4 is going to have 4 M1151s. I think there's a lot of vehicle action. From the looks of it, we can see a lot of vehicle action. Hopefully not as last round. Hopefully we're not going to see anyone ramming into each other. But I think this could get spicy, and I think this could get a lot spicier than last game.
Purdy, building on what you said about the game mode of Rush, have you played that game mode before on Friday Night Fight?
Personally, not. It seems to be that whenever I play, I end up playing 2 games of Uplink and a round of 3-way TDM. So,
now that you say that, it does sound like my FNF. It does sound like, but I think, Purdy, have you played Rush in Battlefield?
I have.
Yeah, so I think essentially, Barton, you did explain that in the previous stream. I think Rush is basically just Battlefield Rush.
Yeah, I believe so. Where it's like you have to do each objective in order. So you can't decide you don't have the freedom to decide, I want to take this first, then this. You have to do it in a set order, which allows more coordinated defense. But it also forces the attackers to commit to one attack at a time. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they could do with that, and whether or not they want to stagger the defense and do defense in depth with layers and layers of mutually supporting positions, or they want to just put all their eggs in the same basket on the first objective or the last objective, hoping to just get them to a nice, hard, bloody slog to try to get those points they need to attack. So, Purdy.
Yes.
Are we expecting any devious plays?
Well, one thing that I've struggled to actually realize in FNF is that the combat engineers, besides their structural defenses, aren't really they don't really create the plays, and that's something that something that I've personally tried to endorse. I believe a few months back, it was actually using those charges in a timed defense, waiting for the enemy to advance, and actually using explosive charges to kind of maximize the amount of usefulness a combat engineer can achieve. And I've yet to see that in a single FNF. And I
What about
feel that
you, Schmidt?
if it could happen, it would be absolutely glorious.
What about you, Schmidt?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
brilliant. Oh, that's really insightful. Thank you very much.
I do have to say, you did catch me at a bad time because I was reading the chat. And what I can say is, thank you, Onzo, for raiding us with a party of 4 and subscribing with Prime. I can say that before the match starts. And also, Samson has said, Schmidt, you look lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Samson. You're the first one to notice. It's very hard between these two blokes who have just been getting all the attention. Thank you. I tried my best. I was unsure how
You're
I would
butt
go on
naked
the
right
stream.
now, aren't you? You're butt naked, aren't you? That's why you haven't got the camera on.
That's why you work from.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
That's why you work from home nowadays, isn't it?
but if you can repeat that question again, then I will gladly try and give you an answer, Barton.
I've just, I kind of got on sidetracked imagining you naked, so I've kind of forgotten the question. Let's just pass on.
Okay, well, then
All right,
then we
I'm
answered that.
flipping
Let's move.
So slotting, they're about to finish their slotting at the moment. As you said, Schmidt, 4OB on what side?
We have 4OB on Op4, so they will be attacking together with Scandi Recon, and let me check. Yes, with FK as well. So that is going to be Fred and Flying Finn and all the people we know. One RCC also, the French unit will be on our side as well. They will be against Blue 4, which are represented by the likes of TAU and 1RW. So this will be very, very juicy. And also Chris Owen 2000. I think that name might say something to you as well, Barton. Has just said, and I quote, Goldilocks.
Goldilocks. Oh.
Would you happen to know someone called Chris Owen?
Chris Owen. Yeah, I might know. Possibly, possibly not. There's some guy called Owen. He's what it is. Nah, he's a good friend of mine. Zeus, where the home of the devious plays, the home of the content. That's where he's
don't give me flashbacks. Don't give me flashbacks.
Yeah, give flashbacks. He loves the flashbacks.
Oh, Samson has just said he dies it, obviously. Can we get a comment to that?
I do not die. I do not have highlights. There's a common gag in Zeus that I have highlights in life. I do not. It is just naturally beautiful. Now, moving on to the content at hand, gentlemen. Enough about my hair. I know it's amazing. It's also blinding. I also have to wear hats to physically eat meals. Otherwise, I eat hair, which is besides the point. We're going to go on to the slotting and what we're expecting from the leaders. So, previous rounds, we had Eason in charge of 4IB. Do we have that again this round? Schmidt.
I'm looking at it right now. So it looks like, yeah, Eason will be taking that squad leader spot again. And it looks like Alpha 1 doesn't have a team leader, so they might just be running one big section. This is something that we've done before. When we have about 10 guys or 9 guys, what they do is they take one squad leader. So in this case, it's Eason. They leave the Alpha team leaders blank. And they will be running, instead of 2 separate Alpha 1 and Alpha 2 teams, they will be running one big section. So I think that might be what they're going for now.
Yes, because it's an American format of having the squad leaders as a separate element to the other teams. So adapting that to what they're comfortable with is very important. Purdy, is this similar? Is this easy to adapt for you and you being in a warrior crew? How's that structured? How's that work?
We work in a team of 3. It's me, Stark, and Wright, who's recently come back to the unit. I believe he came back after a year's absence, so it's good to have returning 4IB members. We work in a crew of 4 warriors, so 12 total. Obviously, 7 guys in the back of each. So it's completely different to actually working in an infantry section, but we do work very close, and we have to understand the risks and the duties that they've got. we're much more mobile. We're much more mobile. We can get where we need to be when we need to be. Our Vic was actually recently renamed from Meals on Wheels. So,
Fair enough. Very well.
but now it's called the Robin Hood Warrior because all the boys in our Vic are from Nottingham.
Brilliant. Right, it looks like we're going into the game now. As we said, it's the rush game mode. Is there attack advantage on this game mode, like in terms of numbers? Is that the case, Schmidt?
Yes, we don't.
No, it looks even to me.
Yeah, I've just realized that this is. Oh no, it's not. I think they just forgot it in the description. I've just seen that Op 4 has 63 and Blue 4 has 55. So I think that's around a 10% advantage as well. Should be around that somewhere. Or
Staying
am
with
I?
you, Schmidt. Staying
Might be
with you.
15.
Yeah, 15, 20, maybe something about that. Actually, can we resolve this, please? Yes, it's about 20. It's about 20. So it's about a 20% advantage for Op 4. Obviously, the attackers always have that advantage. While they're doing their briefing, I think the briefing that they do is just what we can say right now, as we can see. Or I don't know, Barton, would you like to do the briefing as you're an expert on Rush?
No problem. So, your objective is to attack terminals in order. You advance to a terminal, blow it up, and then advance to the next terminal. You have to attack the starting terminals before you can get onto the one following. Otherwise, they would be inactive. From looking at the map in its current format, it looks to me that this game is designed, or this particular map is designed around the point of defending Sector 2, because that's where Blue 4 are allowed to maneuver in their startup time of 15 minutes. So, looking at what we've got and the terrain that they've got to work with, I'm going to assign the other way around now. Purdy, you're going to be my defensive mindset this evening for this round, and Schmidt, you're going to be my attacking one. So I'm going to pan over to the attacking team, and we're going to see what vehicles they have and what, Schmidt, you think they should do with those vehicles to attack Terminal 1.
So, looking at it, we have 2 quad bikes. Is it 2? Are there more? No, it looks like it's just 2 quad bikes. And those are going to be probably used for the X-ray squad. So they're going to be recon. They want to be mobile. They want to be quick. And they're just 4 people. They can get on those quad bikes and be anywhere in the map in a matter of minutes, basically. We've got the 2 BTRs. We've got 2 what looks like Humvees. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, armored light vehicles. Just 2 technicals and a lot of transport vehicles. These Zamacs or whatever they are, the transport trucks, are going to be used to transport the majority of the infantry. And I like BTRs. I do like BTRs and FNF.
Guess what's just happened, Schmidt? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I've been personally attacked by the stream. I'm not allowed to say my keyword.
Oh,
my keyword has been banned. Can't believe it.
Can't believe it. I've just seen it. I mean, I was just about to say I like BTRs and FNF, and I like what they can do. And I would have asked you for a comment towards what you think BTRs could be like, and I can't. I mean, it would feel rude to ask you.
Yeah, it would be rude. Would be very rude if you asked me that.
I mean, is there another? Is it disrespectful to use another word to describe it? Is it disrespectful to the word?
No, it's just a high IQ move. That's my alternative. If someone bans that, I don't know what I'm going. I just going to be silent for the rest of the time. So, Purdy, moving on to you. Defensive mindset. What should the defenders be doing in their setup time?
Like I said before, it's making sure that you can the most likely plan, or figuring out the most likely plan of attack, and just countering it. It's just simple, because any plan that goes forwards never goes to plan. As silly as it sounds, it's just about making that first impact and making that hit as hard as you can, and that will affect your likelihood of victory along the way after that. The biggest thing to watch out is going to be trying to find a way to counter those BTRs. That's my key objective for defending them.
Absolutely. So, do you think they should be making a committed rush to Terminal 1 and try to stagger the defense like that and try to buy as much time so they run out of time on Terminal 3? Or what do you think they should be doing?
Usually, I'm a firm believer of not actually holding the objective zone itself. Usually, like a hilltop or a hard point, somewhere that they're not going to expect, offset from the objective, seems to be a reasonable defense against however you can find it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It does look like the terrain for Terminal 2 isn't the best to defend from because there's large amounts of woodlands coming close in towards the objective. So even though they can still build here, they can build here during setup time, there isn't a lot they can really do to defend from a large amount of forest approaches. On Terminal 1, you've got a little bit of an urban area, a little bit of content. We love a urban fighting here.
Not allowed to say that.
I'm not content banned as well. Or was it deep? Oh,
Oh,
almost there.
oh.
Oh.
That was
Nearly
close.
got me. Nearly got me
That
there.
was very close.
Nearly got me. Not trusting you again, Purdy. Not trusting you again. But so looking from that, there's not a lot of place for high IQ moves here in terms of Terminal 2, but in Terminal 1, there's a lot of place for that.
Remember, the trees are destructible, so they can make their own land with this.
Yeah. Schmidt, what are you thinking? So, as an attacking force, you got the map to look at, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you realise Terminal 2 is where they can build, so it's the most likely point where they're going to build their defences. So, do you think you're going to rush Terminal 1 and then prepare a more appropriate strategy for Terminal 2? Or do you think you're going to get your helicopter crew to harass people building at Terminal 3, knowing that Terminal 2 is not a very easy place to defend? What do you think is going to happen?
What I noticed here is that our helicopter crew is going to be Dingo, and the pilot is going to be our very own Shepherd. So Shepherd, yes, Shepherd that does fly an Apache for 662 Squadron. In 4RB is going to be taking the helicopter. Looks like an Orca is for the Tekken side.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I was looking at the map and I might be seeing this. It looks like they're gonna be. It looks like Blue 4 are gonna be leaving Terminal 1 alone again. They always do that. They always do that in FNF. I've talked about this in the last round. They don't like the first objectives. They don't like committing people. We did see last round that you don't have to have the numbers advantage. So I think it was Blue 4 definitely had the numbers advantage last round while attacking, and that didn't turn out too well for them. Independent ran them over, even though they were the minority. This time it looks like they're leaving Terminal 1 alone again. They might be rushing it, but there's not really much tactic to explain here. I think what the helicopter is going to be doing for Op4 is circling about, providing intel, and it is a very, very annoying thing. So I know this from first-person experience in FNF. When you're defending an objective and you have that helicopter circling around, always in your ear, it gives you a bit of panic because even though they might not see you, you know it's there, and you know it might be relaying intel. So it's always something to worry about.
So, Purdy, back to you. Defending. Where are you going to be building? That's important. Where would you build as the defending commander?
I would try and expand any existing compound areas that we've got. I was noticing a large red house there with some small structures in the back, but they veered out into the open field. I potentially look to try and fortify that, begin forming some large amounts of cover around the front of that red building to expand the amount of space that our boys can operate in.
Mm-hmm. It's very. What about? So you're going to commit all your defenses to Terminal 2, or are you going to try to?
I would make options to fall back, just essentially preparing a fallback force for Terminal 3.
Mm-hmm. Would you leave a garrison force there as well?
I'd station a QRF nearby.
Right. So looking at what Blue 4 is doing right now, do you think that what's going on here? Do you think they need to be building stuff at the moment, or do you think they still got time to just have a nice time, have a chat, have more chats and all that stuff, or do you think they need to be moving out, starting to build right now?
Some bonding time.
Purdy,
Never time for tea and cakes. Get building.
get building, get building. Schmidt, my man, attacking team. How this Orca, this helicopter that our man Shepard is going to be piloting, it's armored. We can transport quite a few troops in it. How do you think that's going to affect the game?
What they've been doing in last ops is they've used that helicopter to transport. So X-Ray, the recon force is probably going to be taking the quad bikes, but they might just load up a team or a squad in that helicopter. Let's say maybe drop them off to the east or the west, maybe somewhere on the side, to help as a flanking force. But as soon as they drop them, they're gonna go up in the air again, and they're gonna start circling around. They're gonna be providing intel, and obviously they have the advantage that, let's say, Op 4 does overrun Terminal 1, or even maybe Blue 4 decides not to defend it. The Orca can land, pick up a squad, and instantly start the firefight in Terminal 2. They can drop them off somewhere on a hill, somewhere on a very secluded site, and while they may not have enough people, while they may not have enough space in the Orca to transport a full fighting squad, they may have enough people to start harassing Terminal 2. So Blue 4 is not going to get any breathing room. They're going to be constantly under fire, because with that Orca, they can get from point A to point B very quickly.
Mm-hmm. So, are we going to, from an attacking mindset, are you going to take a, so you think they're going to take an aggressive approach and take some of these points with some of their elements? What about the vast majority of their elements? What about them?
I would. I mean, I would take a very aggressive approach, because time is of the essence, especially in terminal where it's non-sequential. So you can't have really one element at the same time, because they can be doing it at the same time. So you might be spending less time. But now that you have to commit your whole force towards one terminal, time is going to be very much of the essence. Because even if you eliminate all of the Blue 4 people, if you can't get that third terminal in time, you're going to be losing. So that is what I would worry about. I think they have that BTR that's obviously going to provide support, and that's going to be very hard. But I think they're going to be taking it. They might be doing it, like I said. They might be dropping off one harassing force via that Orca, or maybe even the transport truck. They're going to position a harassing force that's going to start the fire, and then they're going to slowly start pushing up the rest of the squad. But obviously, as we have a non-sequential game mode, they have that numbers advantage. They don't have to focus around different objectives, around different that we're going to be seeing. We're going to be seeing the full force of Op 4 on one terminal. Blue 4, on the other hand, has the option to either kind of dissect into multiple sections. Some of them go to Terminal 1, some of them stay Terminal 2. Maybe they're going to start getting some people even to Terminal 3 now, start building, start fortifying positions. So they really have the choice here. Op 4 don't have that choice. They're going to be completely focused on one of them.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think it'd be a good idea if Blue 4 doesn't really commit into making loads of hard points, but has a more elastic defense, being able to maneuver more around the attack and being able to outflank them, as we saw in last round? Or do you think it's better to invest in those hard positions?
You have to find a nice middle ground. I feel like you have to find a nice middle ground between not being too light, so you have to fortify yourself, you have to build something, you have to stand your ground. But once that terminal goes down, you have to be ready to move instantly, because I don't think we're going to see this, but this is always a possibility that you just get outmaneuvered, that you just get outmoved by Op 4. They have the Orca, they have those two technicals, or those two little Land Rovers that they can move with. They're very flexible. If they blow up Terminal 2, let's say, for example, they can just outmove them and be on Terminal 3 before Blue 4 even realizes what's happened. So you need to be flexible, but on the other side, you need to hold your ground. So I think finding the middle part is an essential key, and might even be the pivotal role in winning this game or losing this game.
Okay. So out to you, Purdy. You were talking before the round started. Still set up at the moment. 2 minutes left. You were talking about using the combat engineers to have more game impact. In this particular round, what type of plays do you think they could be making in order to get the maximum amount of effect from those slots?
At the moment, I don't have access to Spectator, but from what I can actually see. Times charges always work. Observation points, recon talking to the engineer, be able to talk, will be able to detonate without actually seeing the enemy. One thing that we actually did during FNF Titans was that to simplify the playing field, we actually used the combat engineer to destroy buildings and open up lines of sight that weren't otherwise there, giving access to more powerful positions with better lines of sight.
Mm-hmm. So
things like that will tip the balance.
Okay. So knocking down trees, knocking down things to try to limit the avenues of approach on certain objectives. What you
Exactly.
Great. So it looks like both teams are getting ready to go. Does look like Blue Force making one hard point on Terminal 2 because they got the time to do so. They're fortifying it as best they can with floating sandbags. And it also looks like they are going to try to invest some people to defending Terminal 1. Attacking aspect. Do you think Otful is going to be able to call this and react like, hey, they're investing men here, we should deal with those first and then push on? Or do you think they should maintain the momentum of taking Terminal 1 and just push straight through, ignoring those flanking elements, Schmidt?
I feel like, yeah, I feel like they definitely should take the momentum. They should, you know, Blue Fort has the time advantage and has the defensive advantage because on defense, the more time you get to regroup and to kind of set foot and get your position, it's always some good time to reflect and to organize yourself and to always kind of get new positions. So on defense, time is very much of the essence. On attacking side, on Op4, if you can overrun that first terminal, what I would say is go for it. Just get that momentum, get that good spirit, because there's going to be a lot of confusion. You know, command structure of Blue Force is going to be, oh, we just lost Terminal 1, we just lost that element, we just lost this. They're going to be confused, they're going to be on edge. So if Op4 can stay calm and collected and take that momentum with them and just completely overrun Terminal 2, that's going to be a very, very big thing. And Blue Force might just not be expecting it. What Purdy said, I agree with 100%. You can utilize those combat engineers, and the main part, the key role in that is that you are in control. So the defending side might be saying, okay, or the attacking side might be saying, okay, we don't have to worry about this angle of attack. You know, that's blocked off by a tree, that's blocked off by a building. We're just going to sit there. Once that charge goes off, the defending side knows when that charge is going off. So as soon as that goes off, they can just completely surprise them. They have that element of surprise, and they can focus their entire fire on that one angle that is just opened up. So I think that's going to be very interesting to see if they do make use of that.
So with that, at the end point, the round has started. It looks like there's a convoy heading directly for Terminal 1. The X-ray elements, as you said, Schmidt, are going on their little quad bikes and trying to get in some recce down on the west, including what's going on with Blue Four. They're sending their X-ray people on go-karts to the west as well. Not go-karts, quad bike.
They may as well be.
May as well be.
Let's face it.
Their damage.
So this is very interesting. What I'm seeing at right now is Shepard has taken that Orca and has loaded 8 people. So with obviously with Dingo, his co-pilot, that's going to be 7 people. So that's going to be a team. He's loaded 7 people in, and they're going straight for Terminal 3, or they're going straight around the side. I don't know where they're going, but they've just completely outmaneuvered. They're going to the north now. They've just completely gone around the left side. They're now entering the zone again, and I didn't expect this. I thought they would be committing. He's dropping off the section on the edge of the map. They're going to be making their way towards Terminal 3 on foot, probably. This is insane. I did not expect this.
Coming in. Schmidt, a big decision's just been made by Bluefall to invest in Terminal 1. They've sent 14 men to go take Terminal 1 and defend it against that Opfer attack. And this convoy is coming in with no armored lead, just all charging up. This is going to be a very deciding firefight. They look like they're going to go straight in, not expecting Bluefall to be here. But urban fighting, let's hope our guys survive.
But you know, the problem with that is there's already pop shots. You know, the problem with that is they didn't have time to set anything up. So they didn't have that time to, like they did in Terminal 2, to set up maybe explosive charges. explore the area, see what angles they have to defend. And it looks like Op4 is going to even beat them. Grenades going off now. It looks like, oh, Hudson is going down from that grenade. It looks like Op4 is going to beat them towards that objective. It does look like Op4 is going to, if they do make a run for it, I can see Lusod, Levi, and McCarthy here, and Killer as well. They're going to be facing up against the Blue 4 squad, and Arca is going around the other side. You have the objective right here. This might be a case of blowing up the objective and just dipping without even losing any casualties because they didn't have time to prepare.
Grenades going off absolutely everywhere as an Op4 element is trying to rush down the tunnel proper. Rounds going off all over the place. I'm not too sure what Blue 4 is trying to do here, but rockets going off. I think that was a direct hit on the vehicle, but I think it seems to be perfectly fine. It depends how bogged down Op4 get here. The squad leader for 4IB is getting on the front lines, getting stuck in here. Lots going down, lots of content, and we're bringing it all to you. Do you think Op4 is going to be able to maintain the momentum at the start and get in and take this point, Purdy?
They are absolutely getting stuck in. From what we can see, is that Op4 has actually, they are beginning to envelop the right side of the town from our perspective. And if that's the case, they can actually begin to get these buildings searched and find that objective. Finding that objective, because it's not actually pointed out explicitly where that cache is. So being able to find it and destroy it as soon as possible will actually make the Blue 4 objectives pointless to actually hold this ground.
Absolutely. It does look like Blue 4 either trying to withdraw because they could easily get defeated in detail here. They are much inferior force to Op4, and Op4's come in, but they've given away the surprise too early, haven't they? They opened fire when they didn't know they could get any kills, and Op4 just switched straight into combat mindset and are pushing through this effectively, taking minimal casualties.
I'm sorry, I have to commend this for a second. I've just seen it. I'm in the bird's eye view, and you can't say this now. You can't see this now because the Blue 4 people have moved away. But what 4IB has done here is a textbook section attack, very textbook.
I was about to point that out. That's fantastic. That is issued out with a left peel.
Yeah, that is incredible. That is a textbook section attack, how you want it. So they had their base of fire here. They had Foika and Bangs putting down rounds, providing that covering fire. You have Yucca's Dryden, Attila, and Right peeling towards the left side, so advancing forward. And that is a textbook section attack. They've executed that perfectly, and they got their result. They got their reward. They've now taken that little house, and it looks like the left side of that town is now controlled by Op4. As a result of that section attack, and it looks like Op4 has now taken the right side as well. I think there's a bit of fire going on down the buildings, but Blue 4 has, for the most part, retracted from that first terminal, and it looks like this will be going to Op4 momentarily.
Yeah, Blue 4 just fully withdrew from that fight, leaving one or two stragglers behind because they couldn't get them in the trucks in time. But Op4 is using a lot of resources now, just like lots of smoke, lots of grenades, clearing these positions. Maybe that was the impact they wanted to have, get them to use all their equipment early on, and then they have less equipment to attack the further objectives. So Blue 4 got out of that relatively unscathed. They were in a very precarious position, especially near the ends of that, because they were all jumping into the same vehicle. Couple well-aimed bursts could have definitely injured quite a few of them or killed them. So Blue 4's come out of the engagement with two casualties.
Bravo one's about to find the objective.
Yeah, exactly, and it looks like Op4 are about to find the objective and clear Terminal 1. But from looking on the bird's eye view from the map, it does look like Blue 4 set up positions all around Op4, maybe trying to cut off any directional attack onto Terminal 2. What do you think's happening with these Op4 elements to the northwest, Purdy?
I believe that the KA-60 is probably... I've just seen it now. They're dropping off more elements to actually begin that Terminal 3 assault. It seems that they're trying to just get just doing some shuttle bus runs, just getting more men in there to make that third terminal attack just so massive that they won't be able to see it coming. After that, it leaves Terminal 2 very vulnerable to a pincer move attack.
Absolutely. Although they can't take Terminal 3 unless Terminal 2 has been destroyed. The attack has started on Terminal 1, So Terminal 2 should be activated very soon, but there's a lot of Op4 elements out doing nothing at the moment. So it's going to be very interesting to see later in the game how much effect they have, whether or not isolating those units to the northwest was a wise move.
What might be possible is that if Terminal 2 is actually taken and detonated, the second Terminal 3 becomes active. That rear facing team can actually set off the Terminal 3 charge as soon as Terminal 3 detonates. So it could be this could possibly, if everything stacks up right, to be a very quick win.
Yeah, that is very, very good analysis there. The Op4 now, they don't have to worry about taking Terminal 2, reorging, getting themselves to Terminal 3. They can just, I'm going to use this term very carefully, they can just bum rush it. So they can just move on to that second terminal, just devote all resources to just blowing up and hacking that terminal. And as soon as they have that, the other sections, the other teams that move to that third terminal can just get the quick win. That is very good thinking. I'm still, to be honest, I'm still baffled by that section attack because that worked out very well for them and that was just textbook. But now obviously they're going to be blowing up the first terminal and it looks like Blue Force set up positions here. They're going to be doing everything to box them in. And we have a lot of Blue forces on Terminal 2, but the Blue forces that we can see on the map right now to the west of the Op4 forces, they're going to be doing everything to kind of keep them there and ruin that momentum that we were talking about.
There goes the Op4 hack on Terminal 1. Terminal 2 is now active. There's been light skirmishing to the west. Blue 4 elements are coming to try to harass the Op4 forces taking Terminal 1, but they have taken a significant amount of fire and have taken a casualty from that. Small groups scattered right from Blue 4 all around, possibly just trying to bide time for later in the round. Purdy, yes. What are we thinking? What is the defending mindset? What are we thinking they need to be doing at this stage?
If I'm honest, I'm not quite sure. Leaving that Terminal 3, there's currently no Blue 4 for hundreds of meters from that objective. Even if it's not currently worth their time defending, having some eyes on that to figure out what's going on is always beneficial. Surely their platoon command can realize that they could potentially, that they're investing probably too many resources into Terminal 2.
You have right now what I'm seeing is Wheaton and Firefighter being completely annihilated by that Alpha 1 squad and by that BTR that's rolling up on them. I think they might just be a distracting force, but you can see Golf Blue 4 Swaller on that Humvee driving in there, just driving into the city and hoping to get a few kills. He's just completely driven past the whole Op4 team. I'm looking for if there's anyone else in the vicinity. There's Platoon 2 HQ, and now he's just rammed into a tree. Or into a post, I should say.
Has he lost any vehicles? It looks like he's doubled back and coming back in again. Is this BTR going to be able to intercept him? And is this vehicle going to be able to intercept him?
Is he got an orange wheel? He doesn't seem to be driving very, very quickly.
It looks like, if we're looking at the wheels to the left side, it doesn't look like he's... Yeah, the vehicle's definitely... He's got orange wheels.
Congratulations, he's played himself.
Yeah, that post definitely didn't do anything good. They're going to be driving on pads now, and they're going to be opening fire on pads. Who's just in that armored vehicle? He just doesn't care.
Oh, he's going to come round and say hello, sweetie, I'm home. A tree. Yeah, it's just going straight in. Lots of fire going down.
Oh, look at that.
He's been absolutely sandwiched. Oh, we're gonna see some. Oh,
he's
no.
running around. Oh my goodness.
What he did right there, that was very smart. That little Humvee, he drove around the BTR, making use of, you know, his kind of being slow and his maneuverability, and got a few rounds off from that other BTR, a bit of blue on blue. Obviously, the other BTR did a very good job of realizing that and holding fire, but that Humvee's being annihilated by both of them right now.
Oh, there's another Humvee coming in.
There's another Humvee coming in now.
The turret's gone down on this other Humvee. This is content. This is content right now. Yeah, my goodness.
But if we dig a bit deeper, that Humvee is just, you know, it's two people in there. He's just driving around doing fuck all. And we can see Bravo 1 and Bravo 2. We can see them moving up in the woods, actually doing serious business. And if we take a bird's eye look at the woods, you can see Platoon 2 Command alone in the woods. If Tendies gets caught off guard from a guy from TAU, he's just he's just proning, he's just moving in the trees trying to hide. If he gets caught off guard by maybe Hudson, Gates, and Bedekovic, all that
What's he
Bravo
armed
One
with there?
squad
Is that an assault rifle?
looks to be. Let me get into first person. Oh, well, let me
I'm just
see
thinking
if I can.
he's
Yes, it
picked
is.
up a recon weapon.
It is an assault rifle. I mean, he has a grenade launcher, but it is an M4. It is an AR-15 system, or an
So
M4 system, I
he's
should say.
underarmed against a section.
Yeah, he definitely is underarmed. He's got Bravo 1 moving in on his position now, and he's got those 3 blokes from Op4 moving into his position as well. This is looking very bad. I mean, Mass is to his west southwest. He is hiding in a tree, but if they lose Tendies, that's going to be second platoon command gone.
Although that Op4 unit does look like it's not expecting contact, they're essentially running through in single file rather than the baseline.
Looks like the team commander's about to see some of the Op4 elements. Yeah, about to see some Op4 elements. He's unsure what he's going to do here. I can't seem to select him at the moment, but possibly Op4's heard him.
Oh, and Tendies is behind him. He's behind them. He's looking at them. I need to get in Tendies. Where are you? Where are you? I need to select him in the thing.
Looks like there's
there he is. There he is.
By Blue 4 and Op4 to the rear.
And he sees them, and he's not firing. I mean, he has his grenade launcher
out.
Oh, now he's fired and he's missed. And he's given away his position now, and he's being engaged. Oh no, this is horrible. He's being engaged by Hudson, who knows he's there, and he goes down.
Thanks for playing.
Looks like there's some friendly fire.
Oh yeah, that Alpha. Oh, that's the 4IB guys.
Oh, didn't see that. That didn't happen.
I mean, they've held their fire now, so I think it's just a case of miscommunication because there was a Blue 4 guy there. Or are they holding? Or are they not?
They're probably referring to Mass.
Absolutely. It looks like there's 10. They don't know Tendies is down.
Tendies is back up again.
And a massive engagement over to the east. More content. Oh my goodness, you can't be everywhere at once. But it looks like a convoy was heading out from the one point has hit a Blue 4 element. It's been caught off guard. They need to do anti-ambush drills.
Mass is getting crossfired so badly there.
Yeah, and
East
in the middle
right,
there, yeah,
just destroying
in those woods. Foyka traded with Mass. Sadly, we did lose Foyka. But Norgard has just said cut the feed when the 4OB fire started coming. But we did sadly lose Foyka in the firefight, but Mass goes down and Tendies and Hudson are doing the little dance again.
R.I.P. in peace, Foyka.
Look at this.
Op4 is very bogged down at the moment. They've lost the BTR as well. Yeah. That eastern push that was called and it was countered by Blue 4.
That's just tragic.
Again, another aggressive BTR movement to try to catch out a Humvee here. I'm not too sure whether or not any of the other Blue 4 infantry can get an AT stick and hit that vehicle. But it looks like they're doing roundabouts along this barn to try to stay out of each other's way.
I have a feeling that SFS has AT sticks.
And there we go. There's the AT stick.
There we go.
That is a thick black bit of smoke, but I think they should be okay for now, but I don't want to speak too soon.
Fantastic work from STS there.
Oh, that is the BTR going up. Thick black smoke. That is a both BTRs lost for Op4. That has just swung very quickly there. So, Purdy, what's your take on this?
What has gone here? Look at this.
Oh.
Thompson is engaging a whole section and Gloppin Boppin is just behind him.
Use your eyes, kids.
Thompson is lighting up and Edwin Broch goes completely past him. They're completely blind. He's just lying on... Oh, no.
This is content everywhere.
Wow. They've just... I mean, Thompson is lighting up. He's a pain in the ass for one on RCC right now. He's lighting up their entire section from a hidden position. And 2 people from Upper have just ran past him. And Paladin and Bacon Flavored have no idea where he is. He's just hiding behind this rock. And this could be very painful for Op4.
Op4, again, they've got elements to the north just not in the fight, and they're getting bogged down with skirmishes all around the place.
There he is. Thompson's just taken out one more.
Although
Opfor just needs to get in this compound because they're just sitting around in the woods, and that's what's keeping them exposed. Get in the compound and get yourself secure, and then work on fighting towards the next objective. But they're just messing around with these single guys here and there that just kind of shoot them in the arse, quite literally.
And Thompson goes down.
Absolutely. These before elements buying time for Bluefield to prepare defenses on the previous terminals. And then it looks like the eastern push has been halted by Bluefield, and Bluefield has been able to successfully withdraw with their vehicles. The Orca needs to be doing quite a lot of work at the moment, need to be getting this information out, but they're still doing taxi service and doing quite a lot of perimeter work. So Otfor has lost both of their BTRs, both their high impact vehicles have been lost. Schmidt, how do you think that's going to change their strategy for future engagements?
I mean, essentially, Opfor's just lost a huge chunk of their mobility. So we've been talking about that momentum. We've been talking about that, mobility, being able to maneuver around, being able to adapt quickly. And essentially, with those vehicles gone, they've just completely lost that. And now they need to move on foot. It is a very, very wood-rich area, if I can say that. It's a very dense area, a lot of trees, a lot of hidden firefights that could be happening. And if you don't have vehicles to cross that land very quickly, you're going to be moving on foot, and you're going to be susceptible. Again, we're in the bird's eye view; we can see everything. But if you're boots on the ground, if you are in those woods, you don't know what could be happening. You don't know. You can get hit from any direction. At any point, and that slows you down because you can't just run it down. You can't just bomb it towards that second terminal. You have to be on the lookout. You have to move, and you have to be ready for contact all around.
It's like Bluefield are taking up positions to the east again to try to really harass this eastern push Otfor is trying to do. I believe the vehicles have been heard by Otfor because they got a bit too close. Otfor is continuing their push northbound on foot through the trees, but they're not in great enough numbers to make a significant break into the next terminal point. So, Purdy, as a defender, what do you think they've done, and what do you think they should be doing at the moment?
Essentially regrouping, bringing all that remaining assets back into either back into Terminal 2 or Terminal 3, whichever one it is. Personally, I would set up a rally point at Terminal 2 and then send off additional assets into Terminal 3, just in case that Terminal 2 defense doesn't work, and as well as to protect our arses, as you've seen with the helicopter drop-offs. How are the Op4 North team doing, by the way?
Schmidt, I'll hand that to you. How are they doing?
I mean, I was just thinking about this. The Op4 North team, so you probably mean the Terminal 3 team by that. They're still a bit good distance out from Terminal 3. They haven't actually reached it. But there is a group of some FK guys, it seems like. Yeah, we have Fred here and Vlad, who are coming on that, on that bit western side, that northwestern side. They're coming from Terminal 3 towards Terminal 2. So this is what I was thinking about. You have that one group here to the very north, led by Janitsky Finn. So Nemesis, Lone Survivor, Naffies. It looks like this is the Scandi Recon side. They're just moving on foot, and they've still got a long way to go. But what they're going to be doing is, I think they're going to be moving towards here. They're going to be moving east and trying to cut off Bluefield on their retreat to Terminal 3, or maybe even flanking them from their northern side. So they're going to be moving east here and then moving down south. This is what I want to see. I want to see Op4 maneuvering behind Terminal 2. I don't want them sitting on Terminal 3 waiting for something to happen. I want them moving behind Bluefield, behind Terminal 2, and kind of, closing in on them, surrounding Bluefield from all sides. They're not expecting contact from behind. I mean, it looks like they've got their eyes out to Terminal 3 as well, so they know something's happening there, but they don't know if they can coordinate it well. If Op4 can coordinate a strike, this could be fatal to the Terminal 2 team on Bluefield.
And some questions.
Yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead, buddy.
And some questions that have been left yet to be answered by Op4 is that right now I'm not sure if they know that Terminal 3 isn't occupied or not. As it stands, that they haven't searched the area for that terminal. as you can see, they're starting to move south toward Terminal 2, but no one is there at Terminal 3. So there could potentially, if all vehicles are knocked out, there could be a huge slog back to Terminal 3 from Terminal 2. And even then, when they get there, they've still got to find it.
So now that you say that, we have this little squad here, led by ArmA Jesus, what a name. With him is Flux, and they are engaging that recon force, that Op4 X-ray squad. They have spotted them, and they're engaging them. So at this point, it should be clear that a certain team has made it behind them, has flanked them. They are engaging X-ray though, so if they do realize that, it might just be, okay, we've been flanked by recon, don't worry about it too much. But this might be a big issue. They might realize that they're pinned in and just focus everything on Terminal 2. We still have the vehicles. We have that Humvee here who's trying to make it through the bushes. That's heading towards Terminal 2 now as well.
Absolutely.
He doesn't seem to be doing well, bless him. Hitting all those rocks, look.
Awful does look in a very precarious position at the moment, and I personally disagree with this movement to the northwest. This idea of separating your forces in such a way, it just negates. Like, you didn't even have a numbers advantage to begin with, so I don't know you can make these sort of plays. You need to understand, play the objective. Yes, you can unload your recce elements or smaller elements to try to get that easy cap on that next point. But you've just got sections sitting out on the north who hasn't had any game impact, and they would have a lot more game impact if they were the reserve section and able to flank the elements that they run into around Terminal 1. Because if they were able to flank them on the western side with their vehicles, dismount, get on top of them, they could have wiped out quite a lot of the Blue 4 elements in detail before they had the chance to retreat. But at this current standing, Op4's bogged down in their attack. Blue 4 is fighting them in the field and then quickly withdrawing before taking any casualties. And I think they now actually have the numbers advantage. Again, looks like there's lots of woodland fighting to the northeast with another element from Blue 4.
There's a huge firefight going on now in those woods, and this is exactly what I said. You can never know when a firefight is happening, and now they have that Blue 4 squad against Bravo 1, against the entirety of Bravo, actually. And you can see Valenti and Hudson moving around. This is another very good section attack. You have Lusod and Levi and all them providing the base of fire. Now Bravo 2 shifted around. They've peeled around to the left, and now they're attacking from two sides. Very well executed section attack.
Exactly what you wanted. You need that element being able to flank around, that reserve element, not in the initial firefight, being able to maneuver and really hurt Blue 4. This is exactly what they need to do. The section on the other side of the map. But at the moment, it's only happening now. It's only happening in small little firefights, and it won't have a large amount of game impact because it's such a small level.
Dartas is doing bits. Dartas is just taking out two people from that left peeling force. Hudson's the only one to the left side now. Bedekovic is moving up, but this was very well executed up until the point where this little squad here, led by Lusod, didn't move up. So once you know that this left squad is in position here, I feel like those should be moving up just because it's such a dense area, because it's just populated by woods. And if you can close in on them, if you can kind of get it nice and tight, then you can essentially win that section attack. But now what that's done is they've created distance, and Dartas has taken out two of that Charlie force, and they don't have any power to the left side now. They're essentially back to that base of fire, and they don't have any attacking there. So Dartas has flipped that little attack round, and those three people, Dartas, Delphi, and Marcus, are still holding their position.
And from what I've seen, I believe Dartas is the machine gunner. As soon as he took that contact, he just mag dumped that entire box mag. If that's the case, he's still up. He's taken down two of his team members. He's 75% of the firepower the section's firepower. So he's doing a smashing job at doing what he's doing.
No, actually, Dartas was the team lead. I've just seen this, and now that you've said it, you've just jinxed it. Not only is he not the machine gunner, he's now dead.
He's dead.
So he had a grenade launcher that might have been a good help, but Delphi's just hiding in those trees, and this is what a lot of people do. In these wood areas, you can just hide behind the trees, and it is massively hard. It is so hard to see people behind those trees. So you're going to be moving around. You're going to be thinking, okay, won that firefight. You turn around, there's a guy in the tree. Boom, you're dead.
Standard guerrilla tactics. Lovely.
Yeah. We can see on Terminal 2, Alpha has encountered some contact now. We have Blue Force, X-Ray Force, and one of the Humvees with STS on their rear. Those are our 4IB guys, and it looks like they are encountering some casualties from their Alpha squad on Terminal 2.
Safety had run out of rounds in his magazine and tried to shoot. He ran around click, click, click with over that previous section attack. Looks like 4B is in a very bad position at the moment. They've been isolated from the rest of the OP4 and now are being completely encircled by X-ray units, command units, vehicles. And they're hitting this solid hard point on Terminal 2. There's nothing really they can do in this stage. They are completely surrounded. They need to bog in, get into positions with hard cover, and just try to wait till OP4 can help them. Because this is what Blue 4 really decided to attack this position here. They're sending up fire teams to get in and get in this urban fighting, try to defeat OP4 here in detail, and really win that numbers advantage for them. It finally looks like that northern element, that northern section's finally coming down and having some game impacts. Looks to see if Bluefield does have an ARD, does have that all-round defense. So the effect of that might be minimal, but 4B in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, and I've got that bird's eye view up. I'm up high in the sky, and I can see that 4B's really just surrounded from every direction. They've got that fire coming in from Alpha 1 on that Terminal 2, but they've also got a squad essentially. So that squad from their north, from Terminal 2, they've got a squad on their west, firing at them now. They've got a SWAT to their northeast, and obviously to the south you have that Golf vehicle driving past, but there's no room for them to retreat. They have to fight it out, and there's people coming from every direction. This is very bad.
I believe that's at the moment. The Alpha 1 section is currently engaging because that's all that they can really see to engage. Coming up right behind them, I believe, is Scandi, so potentially it gives them something else to shoot at.
Are you right? Is it Scandi?
I believe it is.
Yes, it is Skin. Yes, it is Scandi.
So potentially, once Alpha 1's got something else to shoot at, the pressure will be slightly relieved off 4IB, and all they've got to do is fight their corner and just get everyone out of that compound.
Oh, and this is interesting because that terminal is to the northern side as well. So if Scandi manages to come in from the rear and kind of take control of that town, they've now started laying down shots. They've now been alerted. Bluefor's now been alerted to their presence. But if they can manage to fight their way through to that barn, they can essentially hack the terminal, defend it.
One down already.
Yeah, they can essentially hack the terminal, defend it, and then all these other people, all these other troops that are to the kind of western side here, they can just rush off to Terminal 3 because Bluefor has committed everything at this point to Terminal 2. If they do decide, and they get another one, as I say this, they drop another Bluefor guy. There's a Bluefor guy, King is in the middle of them. He's going to be running up behind Janitsky, but he's just in the middle of all the Scandi guys. If they do manage to infiltrate that barn, Terminal 3 is easy game for OP4.
It's like a bit of blue on blue going between King and the people on the point. It's all this firefight right here. This is where it decides. And you got people, you got the whole section just in the rear. Again, just following the same axis.
Some blue on blue.
Oh yeah, King's just got taken down by a 1RW. But to be fair, you can't really blame him because you have the whole attacking force of Scandi Recon in those woods, and you see one lone person. I would have lit him up.
Oh, of course.
These encircling units of Bluefor trying to take 4IB have now been counter-pushed by 4IB out, is in a breakout attempt, and is now they've been taking casualties, and Bluefor's had to withdraw. 4IB lives to fight on.
Oh wow, and that squad led by Janitsky, that Scandi squad has now been.
They're getting close.
They're getting reinforcements from the rear as well. They're getting Delta, and they're getting Platoon 2 HQ Foxtrots coming in from the back as well. We've got Moon, Bacon Flavored, and Sneck. They're coming in close, and Janitsky he's behind a couple of Bluefor guys. He's lighting up legal action right now. Is he going to get the kill with him? He doesn't. He runs out of ammo before he does.
Switching your pistols always faster than reloading.
This is a lot of content. Red on red going on. With the X-ray and the rear group of this OP4 just firing on their own X-ray units, which is not good for this attack. These, I'm not too sure what's going on with this OP4 attack. They're all pushing from the same direction, but not the same time, just like a conga line.
Is it me or is that Blue 4 force moving eastbound? They're moving out of the compound east.
Yes,
Yeah, they're moving that into open ground, trying to almost like a counter attack.
it's like 4B is withdrawing to the southeast of their encircled position, so they're happy now. They're getting out of danger. They've lost quite a lot of their members. Otford's northern attack is getting bogged down because you had the numbers advantage to the north, but you only had half the numbers actually attacking at one set point. So Blue Force being able to react before they get overwhelmed by the numbers advantage, and now they're being able to trickle it down, so there's not a huge impact. But this firefight will decide the game.
And this is funny. There's a huge firefight going on. We obviously see Shepard dropping flames, dropping flares. Oh, that's a beautiful sight. You can obviously see there's a firefight going on with that X-ray squad, with the with the X-ray squad and the Blue 4 squad here. But the Blue 4 command element, so not a platoon lead, but the actual commander of Blue 4 is right next to X-ray. And he's being lit up by what looks like to be Delta 2 from Op 4, and he's just alone by himself in the woods. So you're leading 2 platoons and the vehicle squad, and you're just in the middle of the woods next to the enemy's recon squad.
And none of those platoons are there to protect you. I've already seen him licking his wounds already.
Yeah, he's hit. He's definitely hit. But there's some good fire coming down from the machine gunner, it looks like. I mean, if this isn't the machine gunner, then I don't know who is. No, it is the machine gunner. Broken is lying down some good MG fire on that X-ray squad. And he takes one out.
That's a very nice position from him there. Very nice. Anything's going to give him away there is the muzzle flash.
It's like Magnus is trying to push up against this man that's firing currently. Yeah, takes him down. That's another Blue 4 casualty. Looks like Blue 4's trying to withdraw. They're pulling back to try to get to Terminal 3. I believe they're routing at the moment from Terminal 2. And the scattered pockets of resistance just trying to hold the set buildings. It's all about coordination at the moment for Op4. If they reorganize and get that momentum in, they can really take this point and decide the game in their favor. But it is all about this firefight.
You know what I need? You know what I need to see? Sorry, Barton. I need to see Shepard landing on Terminal 3 as soon as that Terminal 2 goes down.
That's just what I was thinking.
I need to see. There we go. We've got 15 minutes remaining, and it looks like Wooner from TAU is going to be, with combo from 1RW, is going to be one of the only people left next to the terminal. We've got Indigo, Fox, Rust, and Paladin moving in on it now. Legal action with some firefights. He takes down Lolo. But once they move into that Terminal 2, once they take that down, what are you saying, Purdy? What are the chances we see Shepard landing on that Terminal 3 by himself and just starting the hack?
I want to see it. He's got a head on his shoulders, so it could well happen.
Blue 4 slamming in here.
Hudson and Coac going against each other in the same building.
But if we look at this, Op4 has outgunned Blue 4. I mean, they now have the clear numbers advantage. Plus, they still have that helicopter flying around.
And like you said at the start of the round, it's that Shepard was flying that helo very low, dropping flares wherever he could, and it's that constant enemy presence is likely to cause that routing effect.
Yeah, and Wuno goes down from TAU. Combo is still hiding in that shack from 1RW. But it looks like, yeah, the Terminal 2 hack has just started, and we're going to be seeing that Terminal 2 go down in about 1 minute and 20-second time. I'm very, very interested to see. You can see A2, that Alpha 2 squad, which is just Clown. It's not even a squad. It's just Clown in a Humvee moving towards that third terminal. But I'm very interested to see how it's going to go down with the third terminal.
4IB getting back into the fight here. Look to help relieve one of the groups that's been hurt by legal action. And looks like Op4 have comfortably taken the Terminal 2 position, but there is still scattered fighting coming all around.
How are we doing for the vehicles left in the game?
There is no way.
He might touch Terminal 2.
There is no way. He can stop the hack.
He's going to wait for the last few seconds so they don't... Oh, no, he's not. He's going to stop the hack right there.
He's just paused the hack. He's rushed the barn with a machine gun. Combo from 1RW, and now Jonathan, Killer Prime, and Omega are gonna have to scramble, but he does get taken out by the machine gun. Snek from that Op4 squad does take him down. If I could get a click on him, I can't, sadly. There you go, I can.
That's man has balls the size of space operas.
He's just taking him down from the barn. That is incredible. So now they're going to be resuming that Terminal 2 hack and no more people. I mean, Anderson is still on the rear, First Lieutenant Anderson, but it doesn't look like he's going to be doing anything anytime soon. He might get a few kills from the rear, but it does look
If
like
people
Terminal 2
don't
hack.
clear out of that building in 20 seconds, it's not going to be a building anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Trust me, I learned the
Looting.
hard way.
Here we go.
See you later, boys. Have a good one.
Do you not see the ominous beeping as a message to get out, guys? Ominous beeping.
See you later,
Now they're
boys.
running.
Eventually, they got it.
Okay.
Oh, I would have waited till the last few seconds before pausing that to
What
make
about
it
that
blow up
Humvee?
in their face. So, looks like they've managed to scavenge
wow.
quite a lot from Blue 4. And now it's a race at the last point and to get to
Oh, that's the blue on blue going. Oh, never mind. That's not blue and blue. That's Anderson who I was talking about. He's just taken out Mike. So he's still harassing fours on the rear. He's going to be now looking to take out some more op 4 guys.
But they do see him now, and he is pinned down behind a barn door that is very isn't very supported by lots of other cover approaching it. So he's bogged down. He can't really maneuver. Awful just need to break contact and get to the point, get to Terminal 3 and defend it. Looks like the remnants, the escapees from the Terminal 2 massacre have now arrived at Terminal 3 and looking to make a last stand. Purdy, what are we thinking? What do you think Blue 4 can do at this stage to try to turn it around?
Just absolutely just fight until the last man. That's all they can really do. Occupy as many buildings as possible. Just make it hell for them to attack. Make it true, horrible, obua, fibua fighting.
Enough. What about you, Schmidt? What do you think they could do?
I mean, at this point, if we look at the numbers, I don't think there's much for Blue 4 to do because it is literally just. I mean, it's 2 people on that third terminal, but Twicking is just sitting there with his disabled Humvee. That's the command element. There's still a couple of people from Blue 4 on that second terminal, but I mean, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything. We've got Dakota Shepherd and Clown on third terminal. I don't think there is anything they can do really because they're going to have those reinforcements coming up. If we take a look at the time, they've got 10 minutes left. I think this one is safely called as well. And we see Dingo moving towards that that third terminal. If we remember correctly, Dingo is the second. He's a co-pilot. So we didn't see Shepherd, but we definitely saw Dingo.
Looks like he had a parachute and parachuted out.
Yeah, that's because he's a co-pilot. And he's now trying to take out Clown in that Humvee. Laying down some good fire.
Yeah, he's just pulling out. And then there's 2 Op 4 trying to push up as well. One of them an AT stick? No, he does not. But 2 men holding off a horde of Op 4 coming at them. Do you think they can do it? Do we think, gents, can they do it?
I'm just watching Dingo right now. He's relocating pretty quickly because he just unloaded a mag on that Humvee and they know he's there. So he's just trying to get out of Dodge and just relocate and just try and catch him by surprise once again.
Oh, wow. And he's going to pistol him.
Oh, please.
Oh, and he's going to go down.
How is that not?
Welcome to ArmA.
That's what 9mm does to you.
Well, that's what 9mm does to you. But it does look like Dakota Shepherd is going to go down to the hands of Nemesis. How many kills is he on now?
Nemesis
2 kills for this round.
That's 5 kills tonight. He's a good night.
4OB is back in the fight. They're here. They're here fighting at the moment.
Never fear, 4OB are here.
And Indigo Fox is moving into that compound. It looks like he's going to be arming that terminal.
Looking for the terminal currently.
Wrong
Not
building.
in there.
It's that one. Yes, here we go. He's got the terminal, and he's armed it. So it looks like in 1 minute 30, our 4RB guys are there to celebrate. Actually, we've got Yuckers and Eason. The remaining ones are there to celebrate. And it looks like this is. I mean, Clown is still there in that Humvee, doing who knows what. But yeah, this one definitely goes to Op4.
Fantastic.
We got
round.
1 Blue 4 left, and he just died. Or is there another Blue 4 remaining? Got 1 Blue 4 remaining. That flanking man at the barn, he's now pushed up. He's completely out of position at this moment. Legal action still hasn't bled out either, so he could possibly get back up. But looking at this Husky guy, he's all alone, trying to reach people on the radio. Can't see anyone. What's going through his head? Purdy? What's going through this husky man head?
This husky man's head. He's got to figure out what he needs to do as ASAP, even if it's just make an impact and just kind of make a name for himself. That's what I do at this point.
I think he's got around about 20 seconds left to do something, and it looks like Otfor
Is he got UGL into that assault rifle?
Yeah, it looks like
No, he doesn't.
Looks like Otfor besotted by this table, so maybe Husky can get a couple shots off before the end of the round.
15 seconds.
Oh no, 5,
2,
1.
It's like ACNC. Look, there you go.
And he's just running towards them. I think he wants to celebrate with them. What is this going to be? Is this going to be some BM?
Come on.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
there he goes.
Oh, that's fair.
And they did take him out.
Oh, no, that's not very wholesome.
He got one of them, I guess. But that is a second round victory for